Good afternoon, everyone. So, we are Tensors, an IITM based student organization. So, we aspire to tackle problems that currently is faced in JE community. So, as a part of that, we introduce to you Know Your Branch JOSA counseling. And in this session, we'll have Abhishek Santhanam, who will be talking about Computer Science Department, mainly in IIT Madras, as opportunities and scope in the future. So, handing over to you, Abhishek.
Thank you, Ramesh, for the intro. Uh, so, with respect to the computer science department, firstly, the demographics is such that there are around 80 students in the department, which consist of around 10 girls and 70 boys. And earlier, there was a dual degree, which was a BTech plus MTech, but currently there is no dual degree, it's all BTech. And after 4 years you have the choice of converting to dual degree, that is you do an extra year of courses and research and you get a btech plus mtech degree. So that is about uh, the opportunities available there and the demographics. And with respect to the coursework in the computer science department, in the first year you would mostly be doing common courses for all departments, which will be based on physics, chemistry, and maths. So these will essentially be extensions of what you learned in your JE times. And from your second year, you'll start doing courses which are specific to the computer science department. So in the second year, you have basic level computer science related courses for the theoretical computer science side as well as the computer engineering side. So the computer science department at IIT Madras is a computer science and engineering department. So it takes care of both the computer science part as well as the engineering part. And the third year is when you start selecting courses that you want to do in fields of your choice. For example, IIT Madras only restricts your curriculum for 50% of the courses. The remaining 50%, you will be able to choose them based on your liking. And in those 50%, three of the courses, which constitutes around 2 or 3%, are from the humanities department. The remaining courses, you will be able to select them from a pool of subjects available each semester based on allocation system, which might be random, which might be CGPA based, or it might also be based on getting a consent from a particular teacher. And after your second year, before your third year starts, you have the internship drive, where companies come to the campus and interview or conduct tests for giving internships. So a few things that uh, people are expected to know are competitive programming and some amount of expertise in the data structures and algorithms side. So if at all you're looking to for some heads up, so you could probably start looking at data structures and algorithms from now itself. And after your third year is when you have two things majorly. One is your application for higher studies if you're planning to pursue a master's immediately after your 4 years, and your full-time placements. So if you get an internship and you do well in your internship, you you can get a PPO, which is a pre-placement offer. That is, they give you a full-time offer after your internship, and if you like the company and you want to accept the PPO, you would not be able to sit for placements. And the only other thing that you might want to look at would be masters, which is the application for which generally happens in the first semester of your final year, which is the seventh semester. And for the placements, the preparations are quite similar to the internships. So you have, it spans around 3 months. which is quite long compared to the internship drive, which spans only around a month and a half or so. The first couple of months goes on and giving tests and getting shortlisted for companies. And the month of December, the 1st of December, is when the interviews start happening. And for giving you numbers, the computer science department has had almost 100% placements for quite some years, and the average base pay is somewhere around 20 lakhs per annum, and the average CTC is somewhere around 25 to 30 lakhs per annum. So that is about your placements and masters. So apart, some students might not want to pursue a core technical career, and hence they look at other opportunities like finance, quant, or consulting. And each of them requires something that is different. Quant requires you to be proficient in probability, and consult requires you to be proficient in general problem solving, and you would have to take specific ideas for consult interviews from seniors who have cracked the interview. Yeah, and yeah, that is pretty much about it. And some guidelines for your master's application would be to explore the research side of things with professors either from IIT Madras itself or from other colleges as well. So for such opportunities, you can always mail a professor in a field you're interested in. For example, if you're interested in working in the algorithm side, there are quite a few senior professors who are working in the algorithm side, and hence you can directly mail them in probably your second year or third year. And I would suggest you to start mailing them in the second year itself if you are serious about your masters, and get exposure to various research projects, because a paper publication also helps a lot during your master's application. So yeah, that is pretty much it from my side. I saw a few questions that I could probably answer. Can I change the department in my second year? Okay. So the branch change concept was there until 2019. Uh, so after 2019, when things became online, they removed the branch change option because the semester was quite short and they weren't willing to take a decision based on that. So I suppose this year would be the same. And if at all you're planning with respect to a branch change, uh, don't plan in that way. Probably you could look at, if you're specific about computer science and if you're not getting it at IITM, you could probably look at other colleges, because uh, the branch change option might not be. And there was another question: is it wrong to take CS if you're initially weak in coding before joining? Not at all. So the first year of college goes about and improving your basic fundamentals in coding and your basic math required for coding. So that wouldn't be required at all. But obviously, if you haven't done CS in your 11th and 12th, I'd suggest probably doing some fundamentals before your college starts. That would always help. I saw that someone raised your hand. Yeah, yes.
Hello. Uh,
Yes, sir.
am I audible? Hello.
Yeah, you're audible.
Yeah. I just want to know, given a chance, if I had an option of CS in Madras and Delhi, so which one should I prefer, Madras or Delhi? And will you please explain why Madras? Because obviously you are going to say Madras. I know. I just want to know the things.
So I wouldn't say IIT Madras bluntly. I would say you would have to decide that based on the location in which you are currently based in. So IIT Madras, IIT Delhi, both are equally good colleges for computer science. I would suggest IIT Bombay would be the first preference, and after that, Delhi, Madras, Kanpur, and Kharagpur are equally good. Kanpur and Kharagpur have a locational disadvantage because they're not in the prime spots like metro cities, and Delhi, Chennai both are in metro cities. So, based on your location, if you're somewhere from the north near Delhi, I would suggest you
I
come
am
to
I am
Delhi.
from the middle. That's I am from Maharashtra. For me,
Okay.
both are equally same.
Okay, so generally
That's
Maharashtrians, so they come to IIT Madras. I guess I'm not really sure about the reason there, but probably that is because of the proximity again, even though it's nearer. And again, IIT Madras has some other advantages, like it's the NARF one ranked institute, so it has a slightly better brand image. But again, all the top four IITs are equally good in that aspect. So mostly these decisions are based on the location, which
Okay, so please, can I interfere right now? Like,
sure.
okay, so please refrain from asking comparison questions because it is not up to like the students can watch all the webinars and they can have their own decision based on that. So we'll have other webinar sessions of different departments too. So comparison of different branches stuff, I would kindly request you guys to refrain from it. You can ask questions regarding branch related like options on research opportunities or placement statistics or anything related to that or the coursework. How is the coursework or heavy? How heavy is it? You could ask questions regarding that. So okay, so there are some questions, Abhishek.
Yeah, I can see
So
in the
the
chat room. So one
yeah.
is again a comparison one, so I'll probably skip that. Uh,
thank you.
There's one question asked by Saran V. Balchandar. Like, what are the steps to be taken to start a research project in second or possibly third year?
okay, so probably by your second year end, you get idea about most of the core concepts in computer science. For example, the theoretical computer science or the machine learning side of computer science. So once you get there, you know what are your strengths and which areas you would be able to focus on. And there might be situations where you're equally inclined at both. So I in fact was equally inclined in both machine learning and theoretical computer science. So I took up projects in both areas. I was doing a theoretical computer science project with a professor, and at the same time I was doing an industrial project at an industry in the machine learning side. So if at all you're confused like that, you can pursue both areas, so that isn't an issue at all. But again, most likely you would be able to get it down to one or two areas which are your interest by your second year, because you know most of the basic concepts that are involved in that topic.
Okay, so there's another question like how to check CS syllabus of a college is good. I think that's a good question. Like some NITs include compilers, DPMS, and similar stuff. So
Okay, so if you're going into the industry, some very important topics that would be required are data structures and algorithms, which would be taught in almost every college, and computer networks, which again is required for all your softwares that you build, the database management system, which again would be required for all the querying related stuff you would do in your software development side. And apart from that, there are courses like compilers, operating systems, function, computer system designs. So these are all hardware related topics. So these are a bit dry, and there are a lot of people who work in these fields as well. So if you go to a college's website, you would be able to see what are the core courses that college offers and what are the electives that the colleges offer. So from there, you will be able to get an idea of what are the courses available. But yeah, these are the courses that are definitely required if you want to pursue a career as a software engineer. So I guess the next question is, which languages should we learn before college? So if at all you're looking to learn a particular language, I'd suggest it to be C++, because that is the base language which is used in almost everywhere. So once you get a grasp of C++, you can develop on other languages as well.
Okay, so some people have questions regarding like how is CSE different from AI and all. Could you throw a light on
Sure,
that?
sure. So CSE, so AI is a very small subset of CSE. So computer science consists of theoretical computer science, which is the algorithms, the complexity analysis, and things related to them, the number theory part of computer science. And then there is the networks part of computer science, which involve computer networks, those 5G communication systems, and so. And another part is the database management system, which is slightly related to machine learning, but not entirely related to machine learning. There are some parts like data mining also, which is related to machine learning, but there are also some parts of querying task for a normal uh, software engineering task, so which is not related to machine learning. So AI is a very small subset of it, but again, AI by itself is quite vast. So if you are taking a course specialized in AI, then your final opportunities become quite restricted. You might not be considered for software development roles, but if you take a course in computer science and also do courses which are special, which are related to AI as electives, you have a good chance of getting into a software development role, as well as getting selected in interviews for core machine learning roles. I hope that answered your question.
Okay, so there's another concern which was where like whether CS job opportunities are a bubble and will it ever burst or like will it ever fall in the future? So that's another question.
So in the near future, I don't see it falling at all. In fact, now it's rapidly increasing with COVID and things becoming remote. So I don't see it falling for at least another 10 to 15 years, unless they automate the process of coding by itself. I don't think so that would ever fall.
Okay. So okay, how is BTech AI different from pure CSE? I think you have answered that. Okay, so what is computational engineering all about?
Okay, computational engineering is quite different from computer science. So computational engineering has a lot of subjects which are core mathematics oriented, like convex optimizations and how you apply mathematical models to industry. Whereas it does not really look into the core computer science side of things, like developing algorithms or the network side or the hardware side of things. So it's mostly mathematical.
Okay. Also, like just from our side, like can you tell us how you prepped for Microsoft and how you got internship and PPO in Microsoft? Can you elaborate on that a bit?
Sure. So my preparation started. I mean, it was a very gradual process. So I was doing competitive programming competitions from my second year itself. But that was a bit late actually. There were friends who started from the first year itself. But yeah, I was doing competitive programming contests and developed my algorithm skills. And in the last part, a couple of months before my internship, I solved questions from platforms like Lead Code or Interview Bit or Geeks for Geeks to get an idea of what the questions of I can expect in the interviews or the tests that are conducted prior to the interviews. So that was pretty much my preparation for my Microsoft interview.
Okay, thank you.
I mean, that's a
Okay,
very
so
question over here. Can we
okay,
expect growth of salaries in NITs also from the CSE branch? So that is something that is definitely to be addressed. So these growth of salaries that the media state or uh, is commonly perceived by students who come into IITs is something that is obtained by a very small uh, number of people even in IITs. So probably out of the 80 to 75 to 80 students in a computer science department, or even 800 students in the BTech, only a couple of students get an international offer, which again, when converted from dollars to INR directly by multiplying it by 75, comes to something like 1.5 crores or so. But again, if you take into consideration all the living expenses and so, it again boils down to something that is quite similar to what you would get in a soft SW company at in India. The only difference of working in the US is that you work with the state of art technologies, and you would work in better projects. So I would always say that look at going to the US as an opportunity to work in better technology rather than the monetary aspect of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because when we compare the cost of living everything, I think even if you get 1 crore, it is
Yeah,
comparable to
something
how
like
much you
50
get
lakhs
to
or
30 or
45
40
lakhs.
lakhs. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so for the benefit of the customers, could you kindly repeat the chances of branch slide based on first year CGPA? So I think he have answered that. Um, Due to current pandemic and online classes scenario, IIT Madras and I think other IITs have scrapped the option for branch change after first year. So as long as it is online classes, there won't be any branch changes available. Okay, what type of jobs do companies offer? I think that has been answered. Okay, a second. Okay, so can I know difference about the 4 year and 5 year courses? Will it affect the placements? Shall I choose all 4 year courses first and then 5 year courses?
Okay. So the 4 year. So firstly, IIT Madras does not offer a 5 year course at all. So that is to eliminate this dilemma that students have because they're not sure if they want to pursue a master's, which is actually research oriented, and hence to not put students in a dilemma at the time of joining by itself, IIT Madras has completely scrapped the dual degree concept at the point of entry. So after your 3 years of BTech, you're provided an option to choose whether you want to pursue dual degree or not. So firstly, that is one thing. And again, for other colleges which have a dual degree option, uh, so I would suggest again you should be looking at what you want to do. If you want to do an MTech from India, then definitely dual degree option is uh, the same as a BTech for the first 4 years because you are getting a BTech degree as well as a MTech degree. For the first 4 years, you do courses that are quite similar to a BTech, and the fifth year alone, you have tasks such as being a teaching assistant. You have tasks such as getting doing a dual degree project along with the professor, and yeah. So that is the only thing, and you probably will have a couple of more courses that you might have to do in your fifth year.
Okay. So another question is, does CSE considers math as one of major subjects?
Yeah, definitely. So math concepts like number theory and linear algebra, probability are it's quite heavy. Calculus is quite heavy in computer science.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. So another is
Yeah, there was one
CSE.
more question.
Yeah, sure,
Uh,
Nagapan.
yeah, yeah. So, could you explain the possibilities for non-CSE students to take electives in computer-related subjects? So, maybe you could give it with the situation in IIT Madras.
Sure. So at IIT Madras, the computer science department provides a minor in computer science for the non-CSE departments, where if you take a minimum of 4 courses from the computer science department, which again has a lot of prerequisites, which so it comes to around 6 to 8 courses in total. So if you are able to take electives completely from the computer science department, you will be able to get an minor in computer science. And again, irrespective of what department you are, the free electives, which is the non-core electives, which constitute around 30% of the total coursework. You are free to take it from any department of your choice.
Another question is, we'll take two more questions, then we'll wrap up. So another question is CSC course very heavy? So how would you say that?
So yeah, courses are actually classified based on a number. So courses are there are 1,000 level courses, 2,000 level courses, and so on till 6,000 level courses, or sometimes even 7,000 level courses. So as and when the level of the courses increase, the amount of effort you might have to put in definitely increases. And in general, your third year in computer science is considered the most heavy, where you have a lot of core computer science related subjects. So yeah, and but you wouldn't have to put that 12-hour study or 14-hour study which you used to do during your J years, but definitely you would have to put some amount of time to do well in the CSE courses.
Okay, so another question is, how many electives do you take over the period of 4 years?
How many electives I take? So the credit system is something like this. So you do a total of 432 credits, out of which around 200 credits are fixed, and the remaining 200 credits, which come to around 20 to 25 courses. So you can choose them from any department, or even from the computer science department. There are a lot of options to choose from.
Okay.
Sir, 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 suppose I took mechanical in IIT Madras, sir, and I did CSS minor course, sir. Can I get opportunity to get good jobs and package in IT sector?
So there are quite a few companies which are open to other departments as well. So your minor in computer science does not actually matter when the companies are open to only CS. But if a company is open to all departments, then definitely our minor in CS would match.
Sir, like we will be having many opportunities or very less opportunities for that getting in IT sector.
Yeah, there are a lot of opportunities for non-CS students as well.
So there's another question. Um,
Someone has their hand raised probably.
okay. Steps we need to take. Okay, so what steps we need to take higher studies in foreign after BTech CSC? And there's also questions like, can a person take masters in computer science after taking different other departments? Like, can a person take mech and then do masters in computer science?
Okay. So firstly, answering your first question, that is, can a person from a non-CS background do an MS in CS? Yeah, definitely they can. I've seen a lot of people from the chemical department, or an electrical department, or a mechanical department, or even a naval architecture department, who have done courses related to computer science with using their electives, and have done projects related to computer science with professors from the computer science department in their second year or third year, and they have done a master's in CS. So that is definitely possible. And with respect to your preparation for your masters, again, you would not need to have quite research experience with professors. You would need to start preparing early and give exams like GRE, TOEFL. You would need to also have prepare your statement of purpose, and also you would need to have a good rapport with the professors you're working on, to get a letter of recommendation from them. So that is a brief thing.
All right, thanks. Okay. Okay, so another question is, okay, I think you have answered it, but again, like, is there a lot of saturation in CSE field now?
Not really. So there are a lot of innovative things that are coming up in the CSE field as well. So I don't think so it has attained saturation, and it wouldn't for at least 10 to 15 years.
And okay, so what is okay? So we are facing that now. What is the examination system each year?
Okay, what is the examination system? So it's completely online. So some and it's left to the professors as to how they want to conduct their exams. Some professors have a proctored exam, and some professors have a take-home exam where you are given a day or so, and you are given a question paper, and you need to submit it. So again, because to avoid any kind of conflict and level the playing field, teachers make it open book, open online. You can refer to any source, and you can answer the question paper. So essentially, you wouldn't find the questions in elsewhere.
Okay, I guess that's it. We can wrap up our event.
Sure.
So thank you all for coming. So next in line, we'll have Haripriya, who will be talking about naval architecture and ocean engineering. She is planning for research studies abroad. And after that, to talk about metallurgical and materials engineering, we have Abhimanyu Swarup, who is doing MS in data science in Columbia University, USA. So to know more about those departments, you could join in there. So thank you, Abhishek, and thanks everyone for joining.